guys hear me in YouTube land? Please let me know if you can hear me. Thank you, Jim Thomas. First time here. Long time listener, first time caller.
NT short validated.
Alright. Camera's not working in Discord, but you guys will be okay not seeing me. Alright. Market's actually sold off a little bit here. I don't know what's going on. It's craziness. So I just took a reversion here. Actually, let me cancel this before I forget to take it off of the... Hold on, make sure my zone drawer is working, or my drawing tool. Here we go. Actually, I got to do the disclaimer too. Sorry. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial stability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be considered as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit and losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept full responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment to Wholesale Sales Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made of any account will respond to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical and simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading report can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses are material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may not or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results at all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
Alright, good morning. Alright, so what I was saying is I took a reversion trade here in NASDAQ, so we've got different trades. We'll go over many different trades out of this trading strategies. So my position trading strategies, I'm looking for bigger moves. I already have one of those on in Russell short. We'll go over that on a broken ice event. And then we have auto fade strategies where I'm jumping in the middle of the zone. And then we have reversions. So I took the back in black here, where you wait for it to tag something important. I'm using GEX levels and then all the areas that I look to initiate trades, which we'll go over a lot of them today. I wait for it to show it's gonna respond, and this was the blind spot 1 from Mentor Q. So this is basically based off the QQQs. Whatever other proprietary, it's their proprietary stuff, but they work very well, as you can see. So it bounced off there. I put it on, and it filled to the tick as usual, so I get tortured, and then it came back and then filled me to the tick as usual. Usually it comes right here and doesn't fill me and does this, so I'm just tickled that I caught that and got filled exactly. These prices are unbelievable. This is the Scott Zones drawing tool. So everything I'm going to be covering today is in this flip book, or I thought I had a flip book in here. Hold on. Post this. I'm on mute on Discord, so hold on a second here. Hold on, sorry. Sorry, guys.
U.S. Treasury Department updates Iran and Russia.
You should be able to hear me in Discord, sorry about that. Hold on, let me post this in my room too. There's just so many damn channels on this thing, man. Alright, so I post this every week, but there's the flip book, so we'll be going over the stuff that I'm using here. But this is the what the flip book is here. We'll go over this. These are the courses. And then this is the zone drawing tool I'm using, but you will see if you use this thing how ridiculously accurate these prices are, like to the point that it's really annoying. As far as when you get filled and stopped out, it's nuts. So anyway, got that. and I don't have any longs working here. This was a long setup. I could have taken a Gexi. I'm changing some of the so the sexy Gexi is one of the newest trading strategies where I jump in right in the middle. This one, of course, worked the minute I change my strategy. It works, but so the Gexis, when you're looking for an opposing volume event in these Gex levels, and the theory behind it, it's not really a theory because it's what's happening as the dealers are going to be reacting. These options dealers are going to be reacting at these areas. You know, there's support until it's broken, and then it's resistance, so on and so forth. So you're playing the dealer reaction, and then you're playing the SI event, which is the most powerful thing I've ever seen in my trading career, and that's why my whole entire methodology is based off of these things, right? So when you get an opposing volume event, so in this case, this was a stop run. Sell stop run, which is usually dumb money puking, aka the retail trader, aka us. I'm dumb money too nowadays, but that usually does that because it's not usually initiative selling to begin with, right? It's just guys puking, so then it reverses more often than it doesn't, and then you have the dealers reacting. So what I'm changing here is because I've been getting smoked on these lately. I don't know if it's a function of the market or what, but you know, the biggest options complex is the E-mini or the S&P SPX complex, right? So I will still take Gexis. I'm just not going to take them off stop runs. So if I see, meaning in these other markets, in the ES, I'll still take them because it's such a powerful. These Gex levels are extremely powerful. I got Monthly Q on here, and I got the spot gamma. We'll go over these, but they're very powerful here regardless, and I want to take advantage of the market. Like you could see this, there was no event here, but this is like bouncing off of this HVL, and it ripped through that HVL up here, which is telling you something too. But the point is, I'll take them no matter what in ES. These other markets, I'm only looking for buy ice or sell ice in area, meaning it comes down here and I get buy ice, so I know the dealers are going to be reacting, and then I know big money's coming in with their hidden orders, their hidden iceberg orders that only trigger when they're traded into. Then I'll take them. I'm not going to just take them off stop runs. So a good example here was gold earlier, and another disqualifier is heavy relative volume. So this isn't a great example of it not working, but even if there was no heavy relative volume and there's extreme heavy relative volume into these, I still wouldn't have taken it. But one of my disqualifiers is if you get heavy relative volume, you can see here. I mean, it's just been coming in this entire time, but I'm sure this is the minute chart. 5 minute is the main one you want to look at, but it's still been coming in this whole time. So there's big money unloading here, right? So you don't want to be fading these Gex levels with heavy relative volume. So this is based on, this is Sierra chart. It's showing me the exact time period, looking back 30 days. So I know, is this out of the ordinary volume coming in, right? So when it's not, when it's like this is where you get range trade, and these algos whipsaw you to death. When you get this, these algos are still trying to play their game, but they get run over because the big money's coming in. So you tend to get way bigger moves when you see this coming in because there's big money coming in, right? Unloading on traders, and then they have to turn around and, you know, they have to get out of their trades when they get run over, and that's what these stop runs are. But the point is, you know, these sexy Gexis I don't take if there's heavy relative volume to begin with. But, you know, the gold options complex is not as prevalent as the S&P. So I'm not going to take these Gexis anymore just with stop runs. If I would have seen buy ice with no heavy relative volume, I would have taken that. But the point is, this is a good example. I'll just rip right through this, and, you know, I didn't put on a loser. And not putting on a loser is just as good as putting on a winner, because if you put on a loser, it takes a winner to get that loser back. So I was proud of myself for skipping that one, even though I wouldn't have taken it regardless, like I said, because of the relative volume. All right, so this is bouncing around. What we do have setting up here, one of the trading strategies called hot knife through butter. It's not the highest probability strategy that I take, but we see them all the time.
House Speaker Johnson says Trump called me last night after a peace deal was done.
Let me turn this down a little bit here. Why is this not? Give me a second here. Anyway, when the market continues to, so the way we trade for most strategies, to figure out if this is a bullish or bearish stop iceberg event, is I want to see at least an ATR move out of the zone, right? So the ATR, average true range, is telling the current volatility. The two most important things in trading are volume and volatility, right? So I'm using both to determine how I want to trade this. It gives me its signal or sign if it's able to push the ATR out of the zone. That's this blue line here on the Scott zone jar. That's the same thing you see there, right? So it's telling you something if it keeps tagging the ATR, I mean, coming back to the event and keeps trying and it can't go. A lot of times when it gets through here, we call it the hot knife through butter. You can just take the trade right here and play for that move. This trade is, so for most of my trading strategies, I wait. So say I wanted to go long here, I wait for the market to move in ATR plus 15%. Again, this is arbitrary, but it's from watching 5 million of these things in my career to enter the trade. That's what the yellow line is. So if I enter there, so say I was taking a long here, I would be entering there and I'd be stopping out down here, right? That's what the yellow line is here. You can't see it that well on top of that GEX level, but that's how I would trade. Well, with the hot knife through butter, you don't have to wait to here to go short. The minute it breaks the zone, I'll jump in this trade, right? So that's just the variation in what I'm referring to. Again, I'm going to be going over a lot of these today. Hopefully, there'll be trade to talk about, but that's this trade here, hot knife through butter. Take trades off SI events that attempt 2 or more 1 ATR or more moves out of the zone. So it doesn't have to be an exact ATR. It could go 2 or 3 and keep trying. It doesn't go. When it gets back through the zone, you can jump in the trade. Trade is taken when the market moves back through the zone and tick outside of the 10% of an ATR. That's what this yellow line is here on both sides. You can't see it again right there. So when it breaks that, I jump in this trade. So 48 quarter, and then you can trade. So this is the position sizing for the zone drawing tool as well. So if I'm taking position trades, remember this is I'm risking $500 per trade, right? And this is basing it if I'm entering here and stopping out there for a short. Well, if I'm jumping in here, I obviously can trade in, put on bigger size because this is just one variation of my trade. So I'm going to put it on there. So I could probably put on like 6 or 7 of them, right? 6 or 7 micros to risk $500 on the trade. So if that breaks here, I'm going to put on the hot knife through butter short. Again, we'll put it on right around 48. We'll put it at 48.25. You know, if you want, you can use these. You know, it's prudent a lot of times to respect these too, right? So meaning you don't want to enter right on that. We just talked about how these markets bounce off these GEX levels. So this is a spot gamma QQQ level. You may want to put it a little bit below there, but then you're kind of eroding the risk reward that you get from the hot knife through butter. So I'll just put it in there at 48, hot knife through butter short in the Q. 256. Hold on there. What did I say it was? 48. All right, that's working. Other than that, the only other position trade I have on right now is failed balance breakout, short, and Mr. Russell. So you can see here, this is the best position trade in trading, right? So my whole philosophy is based on volume and volatility, right? So when I use bar charts, candlestick charts to judge these balance areas and how and other areas, we'll go over this, but balance areas are just two-sided trade where traders are placing bets, right? Well, it's telling you a lot when a market tries to break out of a balance, which it did this morning, right there. So it tried to break out, came back, got through the high volume node, which is just the middle of a balance area, right? So you can see how the markets are trading in one of two ways. They're either balancing or they're trending. They're balancing or they're trending. They're balancing, and hopefully this trends to zero while I'm short. So that it's one of two things, right? So I want to take advantage when this tries to break out, and it doesn't. Just use common sense. Say you're long in here. You've been loading up long since yesterday, right? This is like a couple-day balance, or this was just yesterday, I think. But say you're long, and you think you got it this morning, and then it does that, and you're like, oh crap, I'm wrong. I got to get out, and then that's what leads to these called balance break. It's either a balance breakout or a failed balance breakout. This tried to go to the upside, no dice. The minute I get an event below the high volume node, I jump in aggressively, meaning first move out of the zone. That's exactly what I did here. And this is why I jump in aggressively. So some of my trades, as you'll see today, I wait for the, actually this looks like I did it anyway, the ATR retest confirm. Remember the blue line's the ATR. But a lot of times, because it's such a powerful trade, it won't go back to the zone, right? So that's why I jump in right away, aka an aggressive entry. So anyway, I took this trade, I put it in my trade room right before it happened. I almost missed the trade because I was putting it in my trade room. You can see here. Let's see. Once again, Dune Runner's one of the only guys participating in the trade room. That's not good. Right here. Failed balance breakout short RTY 650. So that's my time. So that's 850. That was like right there, and it was literally like hovering on the entry price. So hopefully my room got that, but I did. So anyway, I got out of a couple here. It was right away, right down to this gamma level. I could have probably waited a second, but I was looking at that Nasdaq too. So I got out of a couple there and came down. So for most of my trades, I will get out at the major lug. That's my target. That's this trade right here, by the way. My target is the major Ludwig level. Why did this not start up on my other computer? So you can see here it came down. I just missed it, or I probably would have been out. And now I still held some because it formed new lugs, right? So when it forms new lugs, that's telling you something as well. We call them lugs. That's short for Ludwig level. So I don't say Ludwig level 85 times in a webinar. But it did bounce here, so I probably would have been out of the full trade. But then by the time I looked at it, it had already blown through, and now it has new lugs. So I have 3 left out of, I think I had 11 on. I have 3 left, right? I'm giving this a chance to continue. If it comes back, it comes back. The ideal, so the way I trade when I put on position trades.
LTC, 309 contracts.
Hold on, we got a gold event. Gold has just been ripping higher lately, and today's one of the first days it's sold off. You can see it struggled up here at the GEX level. I took a reversion here as well earlier. Put on too many, and I got out of a couple. So this was into the GEX one. It got through here a little bit. And I took the off. This is the back in black, just like I took in the Nasdaq, and I got out at the zone, and then I did that. Anyway, we got a new event here. Teacher's pet. Dune Runner just told me we have a potential slug in GC. So the basis of all my trading is I'm looking, the foundation of my trading are these Stop Iceberg events. There's 6 distinct events, right? So I get questions all the time on the courses. Which course should I get? This is the driver of everything, right? This guy. This is the 6 distinct events that I look for and the rules behind them. And the trading strategies are looking for these events in important areas. That's all it is, and that's what I showed you on this document, right? So that's what all these trading strategies are. My important areas where I look for Stop Iceberg events. If you have your own important areas, perfectly fine. I'm sure you do, and it's not for me to tell you what you think is important in your trading and what areas you think are important. But why is this other book maps? But I beg of you to demand in those important areas to see a nice Stop Iceberg event to validate your area, so on and so forth. So you can use mine. That's what those trading strategies are. This is based on 25 years of trading in important areas that are the areas that I deem important, right? Or you can use your own. So anyway, this did come down. It was here, and then it bounced off a market profile composite, aka another important area that I use in my trading, that I look to take trades.
Stop, sell, NQ, 170.
All right, we'll come back to that. All right, so I just entered that hot knife through butter short of NASDAQ, and this is an ideal situation where, so remember I got in right here, we just talked about this, and my stop was up here, right? When I get in, my stop's on the other side over here. Just got a new event. Actually, this isn't going to matter any because it's the same stop price, but a lot of times, like we may see it, the market's moving in my favor. I could trail my stop. I always trail my stop based on the newest event. That's the only time I trail my stop. That is the biggest fallacy mistake that traders make, are trailing their stops on some arbitrary area, meaning I don't want to give back my profit, so I'm trailing my stop. But the market doesn't care about your profit. The market cares about events, right? So volume and volatility, like I talked about. This is a potential back in black here, by the way. I'm going to take this here. Hold on. All right, so this is a back in black and gold. There's no heavy relative volume coming in right now, so I'm okay taking this. So you can see it bounced off the GEX 4, and then I took the ATR coming back. So again, usually this is how it usually works, filled to the pretty much the tick, and then it does this nonsense. But that was the correct trade. This thing's all over the place. It's trading like someone's talking somewhere. Let me put my stop in here before this thing rips. Right, so this is what I'm talking about, guys, about these prices. Like it's unbelievable that how these are the exact prices, and then it's like turns around and does that. But it's nonstop. You think I'd be used to it by now, but it eats me up every day. So if I wait 1 second longer, I don't put that trade on, and I'm gonna take a loss on this trade. Here we go. I'm surprised I didn't get filled with the tick there. Let's watch this real time. My room has seen about. I had seven different trades that filled to the tick, or I got stopped to the tick. 7. Most traders don't have that in a year. I had it in like a 10-minute period. So I can't believe I didn't get stopped there to the tick. But anyway, that's the correct trade, right? So this is what trading is. It's probabilities. When you see the trade, it's not, oh, do I feel like this is going to do something? It's you put it on and then you move on to the next trade. Like I caught a winner here earlier off the same exact setup, right? It was this one. So I don't know which ones are going to work. That's why I put them all on. So this is the one I took earlier, the same exact trade. But I mean, as far as I was waiting for the move off the GEX level, and it came back, and I put it on, right? So I just took it here. So I've not stopped yet, but it's coming here in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's like I'm psychic. That should be the low too. And the thing is too, you can, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put it on again. If this holds these areas, I'll give it one more shot, right? Let me put this on here. It comes back. You know, if it blows through here, then I'm not. This is called a back in black. I'm not gonna. You know, if it just rips through these GEX levels. All right, let's try it one more time. Just begging not to be filled with a tick. Like, it's pretty sad when your goal in trading lately for me is it's not even winners. It's just that I'm not filled to the exact tick, because it is my absolute trigger. It drives me crazy how I can pick the exact price for the fills like this. Like, look at this. It's the exact price. It's nuts. Get through there. It's crazy. All right, so I took that. I'll give this a shot. This is the 3 ATR or 2 ATR. Let's see. At least I didn't get stopped to the tick there. Again, that's my only saving grace when I'm trading now. So this was the 2 ATR, right? So I lost on the 1. It just bounced off another GEX level, another important area, and I put on the 2. That's what trading is. You just keep putting them on, and you have a stop limit for the day. So when things aren't working, like yesterday, things were not working. I got smoked, right? So you cut it off. So I show this every day. Trading is just like a chart, right? You make a little, lose a little, make a little, lose a little, make a little, lose a little. Then you have a huge day. Then it's back to this, right? You're not going to use your time card and check in for a payday every day in trading. It's not going to happen, right? You get all these traders that say, I want to make $500 a day. You can average $500 a day or $1,000 a day or whatever your amount is based on the size you can put on. But you're never going to make money every day in trading. It's not going to happen. You can average that, right? So the point is, this is what most days look like. Then you have one of these. Then it goes back to this. You never have one of these because you stop yourself at a certain amount. Like yesterday, I basically hit my loss limit. I'm trading these live accounts for my buddy, and I teamed up. He backed these for $200,000, these trading strategies, and I lost $4,000 yesterday, and I quit, right? So you've got to stop yourself. There's going to be days that things are not working, and you've got to accept that, because these are markets and anything can happen at any time. All right, so I don't even want to watch gold because it's giving me a headache. Still short Russell here. I will watch this GEX level to get out. I only have 3 left of the short that I put on. I'll watch down here and see what happens. We'll put an alert just so we know when it's down there. Let me clear these out. Let's clear this out. So you can put alerts here so I know if it's down here so I can get out of some. I think I have an order working down there anyway, but just so I know. All right. Other than that. All right, so this, I made a mistake here, right? So remember I said there was no heavy relative volume, so I should not have put on either one of these reversion trades. I glanced at it. I should have looked at the minute chart. So this, I'm going to probably take 2 losses on this that I didn't need to take. This is what we just talked about, not taking these reversions or sexy gexies with heavy relative volume. I glanced at it, but you got to remember this is a 5-minute period. So if I'm looking at it at the start of the period, it's not going to show up here. And this is staring me in the face. So I should not have put on either one of those reversion trades because of this heavy relative volume. We just got done talking about this, right? So hold on here. So I just took a $500 loss when I shouldn't have put on the trade. I'm just going to flatten this and get out. Because I shouldn't have put this trade on. I shouldn't have put on that one that I lost on, and I shouldn't have put on that one. So I'm out. If it comes back, it comes back. It's my rules. I shouldn't have put the trade on. It's my fault. One of the main things I'm doing now, because my biggest issue, as most traders, is the mental game, right? Like, this is the best edge I've ever seen in my career, right? And it's like there's traders killing it in my trade room, and it's like I got one guy that gets paid like on a daily basis from Top Step, right? And it's like guys are killing it, and it's like my system, and there's days like I'm not doing well, and it's a perfect example. That actually I reposted it. It's a really good segue into this, of where I can show you the exact trade. I could show 100 traders the exact trade, and 100 traders can take it, and there would be 100 different P&Ls because guys just find ways to screw it up. So the mental game is so important. I'll get into that in a second, but I just want to show you. Let's find this quote here. So this is the guy that's killing it. Like, look at this. It's like taking, basically, it's not daily, but he's been killing it. He got a little cocky too, by the way, and I talked to him about that, and they got smoked. So hopefully that brought him back down to earth a little bit. You know, trading's easy until it's not. And when it's not, it's not. There's a good one here. So this, I actually got this guy's book. It's incredible, right? This is here. I literally have it on starts up in my car when I start to drive. I have it on my desktop right here. It's unbelievable. Unbelievably good, and it shows you what a mental midget you can be. I can be, and that's what I've been working on. I can't find it here, but it's basically you can show. Here we go. It's the same guy too. Here we got natural gas number. I'm not going to trade that right now. We'll look at it when it slows down. Right here. If we placed 100 traders in a room and had them trade a profitable strategy, which this was my point. So that, you know, VJ's killing it and I'm like having losing days. Basically, it's my system, right? Well, what does that tell you? It tells you that I'm doing something wrong mentally, or getting pissed off, or and missing trades, whatever the reason is. If we placed 100 traders in a room and had them trade a profitable strategy, the majority would still lose. Why? Trading is a mental game. You are up against your emotions and biases. This is my biggest weakness, right? And it's grounded in something. Meaning I have a lot of PTSD for what I've gone through in my trading career. Most of you guys know my story, right? You know, I used to be a multi-million-dollar trader, and I got knocked out of the game. And one of the reasons I got knocked out of the game was because of it. Something crude was because of one guy I was trading against every day. It was literally me versus him in the markets. And if you don't believe me, trust me, it was. It was like most days, right? Of course, the big money would come in. But most days was just me battling against him, and we can see counterparty back then, so I can see when I was trading against him. He can see when he was trading against me, so he could tell when I was loaded up. The guy could put on 6,000 in mini S&Ps. I could put on 3,000, right? So he would see when I was loaded up because he'd be trading in and out on every tick like I was, and then he would just run the market against me and blow me out. He was one of the reasons that I got knocked out of the game. Him, and that's when the algos started taking over the markets too. So I have my PTSD is real. It's grounded in something, but I that's what's holding me back, especially now that I'm trading all these live accounts, $200,000 live accounts. Things have changed dramatically as far as my mental state, right? Because it's like, yes, I was trading Apex before, and I've had live accounts through them. We've talked about all about that, payouts and everything else. It's a different story when you're trading bigger money and you're trading for someone. And so I need to get my head in the game. But it just tells you how important this stuff is. So I highly recommend this book. And follow that guy because he has stuff all day long. All right, still short hot knife through butter here. We are at some gex levels. I could get out a couple of these if I want. Let's see how it reacts. And I'm still short some Russell. So we're at, let's see if it can blow through. This is blind spot 10. That's not that heavy of a gamma level, but let's see if it gets down here, if it starts to respond. And you can see what's down here, so you know that's going to get filled. It's just a matter of when. Doesn't mean it's coming here right now, but it'll play games, and trust me, this will be filled at some point today, probably on this webinar. Right? So we have trades that actually trade to this. It's called the bark and the lick trade, which I can still put on here. Not off this guy, right? Because that would prove bullish, but we took that hot knife through butter short. If this guy tags the ATR retest confirm, I could put on that trade. This isn't a great risk reward for this liquidity, right? Because I'd be getting in here and I'm targeting that. But I'm sure there's some other ones. We'll go over this trade if it occurs. I didn't get out of any here. It is bouncing off this blind spot. But again, that's not that important of a level. So I could have taken it back in black here. But I'm not taking him off blind spot 10. It's going to work like that. But right there, this is the trade, right? Bounces off the GEX level. Here's your entry. You're out at the zone to the exact tick. So anyone in my room took that, congrats. Or if you have my ATR course, if you took that, congrats. I skipped it. That's why I won. This is how it's been going for me lately. That's why I've been losing my mind and haven't listened to Trading Composure books for 8 hours a day. All right, so this is not officially a bearish setup though yet, right? It needs to tag the ATR. It was really close. See how it moved? This is moving dynamically. I don't know how that didn't confirm as a short there. It was right there. And then here's your retest. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys with the zone drawing tool and these levels with the ATR. It's like, it's unbelievable. Look at that. That's the ATR. That's the exit for the trade. Like, this is 10% of an ATR in front of the zone. Like, look, it's literally the exact tick. In this market, that moves 400 ticks a minute, right? So, Bookmap Bob usually tells you if it retested or it qualified as a short. It did not, and I'm going to listen to Bookmap Bob, so I may be skipping a trade here. The bark and the lick. So what's the bark and the lick? Remember I said I look for these events in important areas. Well, the edge is inherent in the event by itself. I will take trades off of this stuff anywhere if it follows a certain pattern, where if it goes the ATR, again, it was close, retest confirm, I'll put on trades. The only thing I need for that is an algo guy confirmation. We call this algo guys, exponential moving average. This is my filter for that trade, right? So if I get the vet and I get ATR retest confirm, I'll put it on as long as this is in the direction of that trade.
Short validated.
See, now it just validated. Bookmap Bob just told me. But it sure looked like it validated there. So I don't have it. I still have my hot knife to butter short on, but I didn't put on the bark and lick. Speaking of which, look at what these guys just did. They just yanked it. Both these jackasses right here yanked it. Someone else came in, they made and moved it down here. But it's just funny to watch the games here with these guys too. Again, this is just the order book stuff shown on the heat map, but you'd be amazed on anyone's traded for any period of time. The markets come right to this stuff, and the longer it's been in here, the more likely it is to tag it. Why? Because this is the big money. And what does the big money get? They get their way because they're the big money. They push the market into their orders. How do I know that? Because this is what I used to do all day, every day. Almost all my strategies are based on my experience as a large scalper and how I would react and others would react. Remember, you can see counterparty back then, right? So anyway, they yanked it, but there's still some in here, and you can bet your bottom dollar that's going to get filled. In the meantime, if this is officially hit the ATR, and actually I'm going to get out of a couple of these hot knife through butter shorts right here. I had 9 on. I'm going to get out of. I'll get out of 3, right? So if it bounces here, I got out of some. Right? This is where I pay myself if the market makes money available to me. So this was a good trade so far, right? So, and again, these webinars aren't for you to mirror my trades. It's for you to learn how to fish for yourself, right? But if you did mirror me, right, that is almost a 30-point trade already, and I still have some on. So I pay myself. If this were to bounce, at least I got out of some. If it rips through, I still have some on, right? So I don't know what's going to happen next, so I just got to react the best I can. Right here. I'll rant on this entire webinar. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. All these different areas. These are the same areas where I initiate my trades that my trading strategies are based off of. So that was a Venther Q level that I got out of 3 because it's bouncing around here, right? So I got out of 3s. And in the meantime, that was the hot knife through butter trade. Kept trying the ATR, couldn't go. Now we have a new event. If it goes here, 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 I will take the bark and lick, and I can trade to this liquidity. That's good enough here. 22 down there. That's almost 25-point trade, so I'll give that a shot. You got to make judgment calls here, though, right? So it's like if I put on the bark and the lick, which is the same trade, you're waiting for the ATR, the retest, confirm. Well, the lick is just trading heavy liquidity. Well, that would be getting in here, getting out here. If I stop out, it's all the way up here. Is that a good risk reward? Not usually. So you got to make the decision if you're going to put that on, right? Hold on, I'm sure teacher's pet's telling me I'm doing something wrong here. GC steps to combine. Thank you. So guys, this, if you come in my trade room, if you can't participate, just don't come in my trade room. That's all I'm saying, right? Like, this is meant to be like a trading firm where everyone's sharing ideas, pointing stuff out. He is the king. That's why he's the. He did a webinar for me a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. I couldn't get on, and he took over for me, right? That's my goal, is to get all of you into that realm where you can literally be like mini me's. Speaking of which, there is possibly going to be an opportunity here, and Duner will be the very first person that I ask to trade, because one of the reasons that I've been getting smoked with my buddy's accounts, that he's backed me with $200,000, is because I'm trying to do too much, right? You're watching on this webinar, a lot of you guys' heads are spinning, and I've only been watching basically 2 markets today, right? So it's like I'm trying to trade 18 different strategies over 12 different markets. It's like, it's just too much, and I know it, and I'm still trying to do it, and I'm costing myself and him money because I can't do everything myself. My point is, if you guys get in and become little mini dune runners or mini me's, there's going to be probably an opportunity. I'm going to speak to him actually this weekend about this, of starting my own little trading firm where you would be. So say I say, okay, Dune Runner, I want you to watch 3 markets or 2 markets, these strategies, and that's all he does, right? And then he gets a cut, just like these prop firms type of thing. Again, this is just in the beginning stages, but the point is, if you come in here and you show me you know what the hell you're talking about, and you're posting charts and you're alerting people to trades and yourself, and it's good for yourself too, because every time he does this, he just reinforces for himself, the trading strategies, right? And there's all down here too, right? So every time, and when you're taking them, you should be, pointing them out to yourself and having a book of trades that you do. But the point is, if you come in my trade room, participate. And I say this all the time, and he's like the only guy, and there's probably about 4 or 5 people that participate, right? Out of like 70. That's not good enough. So if you come in here, participate, or just go to another trade room, is what I'm telling you. All right, still short. It's kind of blowing through here. I got out of a couple here, so then we'll watch our next levels down. I need to know where else we're at here, though. And I'll head back over to gold here in a second. I'm glad I got out of that trade, though, like I was supposed to. When I put on, I cost myself $500 on it, but because I didn't see the relative volume. I don't know how, because it's staring me in the face. Where am I at now? I want to see NQ here. All right, so there's really nothing else for me to get out until the blue lug here, or an opposing volume. That's the king, right? So this is baby lug. These are effective. I don't get out of baby lug by itself unless it's confluent with something else. These were these GEX levels we just talked about, so I probably get out of another one here if I wanted to. This is also extreme standard deviation of VWAP. Here's VWAP. This is the 1 ATR, aka it's called daily value area. 1.5, 2. So you get these algos that snap it back at these ATRs. When nothing's going on and the big money's not in here, they snap it back. That's why you get those rotations at these areas. So we do have 3 different things here. I got baby lug, extreme standard deviation, and you have these GEX levels. So I could get out of another one. I'm going to see if we can blow through here, because it's like a self-perpetuating thing too for these algos. It's like they play for that reversion and it doesn't go, and then they help cascade it down more, right? So when they're playing that game and there's bigger money in here and loading, you get that effect too. So I'm hoping that can happen here, and you got this liquidity right here too. So I will watch this, and you got all these spot gamma levels. And then the other thing we're using here is this price change algo. This is incredible as well. This is Market Pulse. So we get questions all the time too. I guess Bookmap now has the stop iceberg indicator like separated. I was never even really told about that, and I've had some people contact me asking me, as they're getting this stuff. And again, everything you need is in this flip book. Right, if you go over here, here's the book map. You get a discount to Global Plus. I get questions on that. Should I get Global Plus? Well, the discount's for Global Plus. Plus, you want it because it shows a bunch of other stuff besides that global doesn't have, right? You get like sweeps. I have it on here. You can go to the features and it tells you what you get, but I recommend Global Plus. Plus you get the discount. Click on that. You need the NBO bundle here, right? So this is what I'm getting at. Like the NBO bundle has all these different things. It has obviously you have to have this, but I guess crap. I think I'm missing a CL trade. I forgot about this. I'll come back to that in a second. All right, this is a long, so the first step is identify the volume event. There you go. Now is in an important area. That's the question. This is a new and Izzy zone. I draw these every morning for myself, my trade room. Market opened up here, back in here, so I can take an Izzy long right now. Did you see how it tagged to the tick? I'd be bitching right now if I took that. Hold on. I'm sure this is price changing. So why I'm doing this now too is I'm only putting on half size. We'll get into this.
By CL, 153 contracts.
This is even better because now I can trail my stops. So I'm gonna put on full size here. Crude Izzy. Put on 14 right there, or 1.4 big ones. Obviously, you can't cut the big one up. Trade micros. You do not want to just trade one big one because then you're all in or all out. I like putting on micros so I can get out of 3 in an area, 4 at an area. All right, so if that comes back, hold on. Russell is. Let me get this in first. So my entry point is right there, and you can see it's all on over here too. So you can hover over that to tell you. Hold on, let me get in this before I screw this up. All right. So I'm in full size. Now we got a couple of things I can do. One, I can trail my stops. So just say this didn't happen. This buy ice just came in right now, right? I get in here, which I just did. My stop's all the way down here, right? Well, we got a new event. Now I can trail my stop to the new event. That's how I trail my stops, based on something that's happening in the market, not some arbitrary number of my P&L, right? Makes no sense. That makes no sense. Stop doing it. Trail your stops based on something that's happening in the market. So anyway, that's where I'm supposed to stop. I don't stop out in prior events if I can afford not to. You know, it's a different story if there's an event, and you got to move it down 70 ticks. Well, then no, you just got to bite the bullet. There's one event here. I should be stopping out at 62.15. I'll stop out right below there. We'll put it at 62.11. Put this in. All right. Then we have other strategies brewing here too. One, we have the A plus reversion trade. Hold on, what was that? Why do I have YM on? That makes no sense. Oh, you know why? Because I put on YM earlier instead of Russell. That's real bright. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, seriously, I've been trading 25 years. I mean, it worked. But this whole time I thought I had Russell on and I had YM. There's just no excuse. This is just so stupid. This is why I've been getting smushed lately, because I'm just a mental moron. Right? So that trade, so I guess I'm out of the full trade too. I thought this whole time this was Russell. It was YM. So probably cost myself on that too. Let's see. Let's see how much this moved versus Russell. I have no excuses except for moron sometimes. Everyone's a moron, but it's just like I've been doing this. This is what I'm talking about. I need help, right? I can't do all this stuff by myself. So anyway, I thought I caught this move. I did catch the move. I just was in the wrong product. I got lucky, right? YM and Russell usually move in tandem as well. So anyway, this is where I wanted to get out of some more. I just did, but it was Russell. So there you go. I got lucky on that. I mean, again, they move in tandem, but there's just no excuse. I got nothing. I have no excuses. All right, I'm still short. This is ES, by the way. There's not been an event in here, I don't think. Hold on. Let's turn off this price change. Nothing threshold. This was 400 or 500. Let's see if you can come on. Yeah. You know, my threshold, so it won't draw the zone in ES. So I have thresholds, meaning important volume, amount of volume that's tradable, right? My threshold for ES is 700. Well, you combine those, it's 700, but I don't like combining them just to get to threshold. So I'll just wait for an official event in there. Nothing to do in there. I am still short Russell. I mean, I was never short Russell. So here we go. So I just missed this part of this exit, right? What just happened here? I don't know the exact thing I said was going to happen. Tag that liquidity. They got their fill, and now it's free to do that. Doesn't mean it's going to, but the point is I get out at these areas. I still have some of these on. Let me get out of a couple more here. All right, so I cost myself there about 15 points. It's coming back. So I still got 3 left. This is the hot knife through butter trade, and I did not put on the bark and lick. I could have. Again, it didn't officially tag. This is where it's just been driving me crazy, right? It's like we were looking for the ATR retest confirm. Well, it never officially, Bookmap Bob didn't announce it tagged the ATR, so I didn't put on that trade, and this is a winning trade so far, and I could have got some there, so whatever. I did have the hot knife through butter on, so I'm still happy, but that's just how it's been going lately. Like, it's just, you get these question marks like, well, did it tag the ATR? Because everything has to be the exact tick for some reason off of this zone drawing tool. It's nuts. I don't know if I mentioned that. All right. So anyway, I guess I was short Dow, and now I am. That's just silliness. And then this is the, I got the crude Izzy on, and then I have the, this is what's remaining of the hot knife through butter. So the other thing too, I have this trade copier working here, and it's basically trading, whatever I put on Apex, it'll bring it over to, I gotta make sure this is working correctly too. Why don't I see my other trades on here? Oh, hot knife. I don't have hot knife through butter. I'm not trading hot knife through butter on the live account.
Stock by NQ, 187 contracts.
But I'm taking them on Apex right there. So that was that. So the NQ, because I don't like, winners in the live account. Just kidding. So I was telling you guys before, the hot knife through butter is not the best win percentage. It's still an edge. I've got too much undoing, so I didn't put that one on the live ones. All right, so we do have an event here. Again, I'm not taking stop run sexy Gexies anymore. If this was sell ice into these Gex levels, I would have taken it. I was just jumping right in the middle of the zone. More importantly, I can now trail my stop. Remember, I'm short, right? I got out of some more down here. It was actually right here. But this is why I get out at heavy resting liquidity. I don't know if I pointed this out. This is the second time I've referenced this. I pay myself at the market to make some money available to me. It is struggle. Where's it at? Struggle to get through heavy resting liquidity. That was that to the T. Right there. See how it struggled to get through this heavy resting liquidity. So I got out of some more there. Now I've got 3 left. I'm going to trail my stop to that. And we have a potential A+ reversion brewing here too. So again, different strategies, right? And if you get the trading strategies course, come in my room, or whatever, it's not to mean you take every single one of these. I can't even keep up with them, and they're my strategies. It's to pick a couple. You say, okay, I'm going to try the slug and the bark. I'm going to master those 2, and then I'll start adding them. Or you could pick a couple off of each category. So I'm going to take 2 position trading strategies where we're looking for bigger moves. I'm going to take two auto fade strategies where we're jumping right in the middle of the zone. That's what I'm talking about, the sexy Gexy and flow bead. You don't get those that often. Speaking of which, we got to keep an eye on the hero flow because it's the entire market these days. And then you can take the reversion trade. So this is the A+ reversions that's brewing here, right? So we already know the markets tag these ATRs and come back to the zone. We've seen like 5 of them today already. So if this tags this is even better because, well, 1, you got a Gex level here. 2, you got a prior event. Why is that important? Because use common sense. This is concentrated areas. That's why it draws the zone. Traders are loaded up here. So whoever went long here just got run over. When it comes back, they went out. That helps bring it back to the zone as well. So I will put on this reversion trade. And this is the sizing for the reversion. I'm trading a little lower because this is based on $500 and I'm not risking 500. I'm risking like 400 now because I've been getting smoked on some of these. So I'm put on 7. And then the stop, this is what all these lines are. So this is the entry for the 1 ATR, and the stop goes up here. That's the 1 ATR. So you can hover over this stuff. You see it down there in the bottom left. You should anyway. Hold on. Should be getting a news story here to blow me out of some of these trades, or a headline. I don't know why it's not showing that, but anyway, you got them over here too.
PC short retested.
Right. Right. Hold on, I'm missing.
Nat gas ice iceberg sell MG.
So Dune Runner told me about this to combine these, and I didn't do it, and I'm sure this is a big winner. So that sucks for me, as usual. Let's see where he's talking about though. This was up here. That was that stop run. This is 140. He said sell. I think it was stops to combine. Yeah, I mean this was. I wouldn't have drawn that zone. So sometimes you got to draw these zones manually too, by the way. And then with the zone drawing tool, you can do it. So it's the F keys, right? So if I wanted to draw, say I wanted to draw those sell stops, I hold down the F4 key, I left click, it starts to draw the zone. I get it to the prices that was this event, right? And then I left click again and let go of the F key. This has been having a bug where this zone drawing tool, where once I do that, it'll keep drawing zones. It's not doing it right now. Just toggle the F1 key a bunch of times. There, well, actually, it started to do it right there. Just toggle the F1 key and then it'll stop. But this, I'm not even drawing that event. You could have, and it did react perfectly to it, but it was under my threshold. Dune Runner claimed there was multiple stops here, but I didn't get them. So the threshold for gold is 150, so that's why I didn't draw the zone. It did work down there. Gold's all over the place as usual, and as usual going straight up. So this reversion ended up working. Remember, I got out. I don't know if I wouldn't have stopped. So this is what's been going on literally for months now. Like the trades, I'm like, I mean, I follow my rules. I shouldn't have put on this trade, either one of them. I took the loser on the one of them, but then I put it on. Remember, and I got out. Well, there you go, right back to the zone. As this died down, I could have put it on. So the relative volume did die down. So this was heavy relative volume. But when it came down here, there was no heavy relative volume that I'm looking at. And I could have put it on back to there. I don't think there was. It doesn't matter. I missed it. But what's important here, guys, is you see the trade, the strategy, right? Bounced off GEX levels, right back to the zone. Over and over and over and over. Every single market is the same thing. Doesn't matter what market you're trading. That's why you want to watch multiple markets. So when there's nothing going on in these crappy equities lately, you can jump over to natural gas or gold or crude. Speaking of which, I should be getting whipsawed in crude right about now, like that. Why don't I have this A+ reversion working in here? I said I was going to do it, and I did not. I wouldn't have been filled. Of course, it missed to the exact tick. All right, so I could put on, actually I could put on, I'm going to use the big one here. Right, so this is telling me I could put on 3 big ones, 3.3 or 33 micros. I'm just going to trade the big contract here. That's that. So the entry for that's the 1 ATR, long entry, you see it right there. And then this is the stop for the 1. All right, so this is more of a scalp trade. This is the best method to scalp that I know of. And again, I used to be a huge scalper, right? That's all I did. If I'm not doing it anymore off the order book, then I don't think you should be either, because I was one of the best in the world. And if I'm not doing it, I like making millions of dollars doing it. So if I'm not doing it anymore, it should probably tell you something. So stop trying to trade off the damn dome. It's not viable anymore. These algos, the size is nothing, right? It used to be thousands up in ES where you can lean on the size and it was real. It's not real anymore. Plus these algos yank it, and it's just a bunch of games. You can see it on the liquidity heat map here with the order book games that they're playing. By the way, that's not good for my long here. But again, I don't skip trades if I see that, right? Like, because it doesn't have to come here right now. I can have a winner on this long that I have on from earlier. It can come up and tag some areas, then come down here. But just keep this in mind. If it does come up here and you get a short, remember we talked to Bark and Lick, that's going to get filled. Doesn't mean it's going to happen right now, but it probably is going to happen today. All right, so I am long the Izzy trade. We already went over this. That guy. Actually, let's see if there's anything else I could have got long.
Prior NQ short retested.
I'm about to get filled on the reversion trade too. Was this anything else in here? This was a pick too. This was from a while ago, but it still looks like the market's respecting it. So I could have gone long pick also. So pick is just another strategy, right? If you like market profile composites, which you should because they're very powerful, that's this trade, right? Profiles encourage. Take any trade that moves into or out of a market profile composite high or low. So I'm looking for the edges of these things to put on trades. This stop run was right into that market profile composite, right? Right there, at the bottom, right? I did put on the IZZY, like I said. So that was this. One other important area I look for volume events.
NQ stocks,
Oh, crap. All right, so I need to be out of this NQ trade immediately.
NQ long validated.
So when I'm in a reversion trade, if another event fires off, I am out. So I was playing for this to come back to this event, right? The A plus reversion. I entered right there. I was playing for that. Well, a new event comes in, I'm out. I'm not hoping it comes back to this event when there's a new event. Now I just start the process all over. Now I have a potential A plus reversion I can put on off of that, right? And for those last 3 hot knife through butter, I need to be stopping out. This was the stop for this event right there. I can move it up a little bit above there. So I'm putting it at 61.75 because I still have 3 on. So great example though of getting out, right? I paid myself as the market moved lower earlier at the right areas. I don't know what the market's going to do. It could have kept going. I still had some on. If it did this, I got out of most of them. I got out of some down here. I got out of some down here. And I had 3 left. Well, and then I trailed my stop to the most recent event, which is about to get stopped out for the last 3. That's still a profitable trade, right? This is, it could have done this too. And I still would have had some on. I still had some on there. But I'm following my rules. So I'm trading like an algo. The only way you guys are going to make it is if you, against these algos, or if you trade like an algo, meaning you have your system, your rules, and you follow them without fail, right? So I did nothing wrong here. I got out where I was supposed to. The market was struggling here. I got out of some, struggled at the heavy wrestling liquidity, got out of some, trailed my stop to the most recent event. If it pops right there, that's the stop. I just moved it above the zone a little bit. I'm out. Now we have brand new trades. This is a new event in an area. We'll see what we got. I know this is an A plus reversion. And we're coming to the time of day where they start the 0 day to expiration games. They know the big money from New York starts to go to lunch right about now, then Chicago, and then they start their games. It's every single day. It is disgusting. I get mad at it. I mean, I don't blame them. I would have done the same thing back in the day if the options were that important. Nowadays, they're in the entire market movement. You can see whatever this thing does, and this is driving the futures. It's not the other way around. These guys are loading up. These 0 day to expiration manipulating jackasses are loading up the dealers, forcing the dealers to come into the futures to hedge their positions. It's literally tick for tick. And this is the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ follow. I mean, a lot of the same stocks, right? Hold on, what was that? What did I just fill? Oh, I stopped out of the rest of the hot knife through butter. But you can see here, whatever this thing does, this thing does. And again, this is NASDAQ, and it's doing it. I mean, ES is the same exact thing. Look at this. I mean, it's to the tick. I mean, it's doing exactly what this does. Even the little blips. Look at this. Here's the move down. Here's that bottom. Here's the blip. Here's the blip. Here's the rip. It's unbelievable. It trades like a market, right? So again, I've been talking to Spot Gamma. They have a filter feature. It's great to know, oh yeah, this thing, I mean, look at this move that's just made. So Brent from Spot Gamma talks about a billion notional being a lot, meaning market moving trade, right? This thing just moved from minus 6 billion to minus 3 billion. That's 3 billion contracts, and that's exactly what just moved this market. 100%. Right? And the more you watch this, the more you'll understand what I'm talking about. The point is, yeah, that's great, Scott. How do we take advantage of it? Well, I don't really, I mean, to see this, a lot of times you'll get a flow alert, right, that tells you heads up. It's going to reverse. But he's got this filter feature, and I still don't know, I still can't get the inputs of what's important. I put 500,000, and it's obviously not even taking that. Hold on. I forgot how I even did this. Let's see, I had it at 500,000. It's not even in here now. I don't know why it's not even working. But the point is, it's like he's got this tape feature, and I can't really take advantage of it. This is important too. We'll talk about this. This stuff we have another trade here. So the market will usually gravitate. It did come down to this, by the way, so right to the tip, but it still hasn't been filled. We'll talk about this trade. This is the new seek and destroy trade. It's from him, but I've added it as a trading strategy right here. I'll put it in the course too. So that's another thing about these courses, guys. As I add stuff, you get it. You'll get an email that I put new stuff in it, right? So all these courses are continuing education. So if I add another setup in the Stop Iceberg, if I have another strategy, or I have new stuff for the ATR stuff, you'll get an email that it updated if you have the course. Anyway, that's this new strategy here: seek and destroy. SAD. It's a perfect acronym because it is sad what these manipulators can do to the market. It's unbelievable. I used to be one of the top manipulators, and it pisses me off, right? It's not fun having the game put back on me that I used to do to people. Anyway, SAD. Take any SI event in the direction of the 99th percentile GEX levels on spot gamma trace after 10 a.m. Central. Hey, right about now. Holding until that price or an opposing volume event to stop out. So this is more of the way it usually is, like the market's way up here, and you'll see all this stuff, and you get a bearish event, you can jump in and try to hold it all the way down there, because these things are like magnets. It's just like the rest of the liquidity in the order book. Like, it will come down there almost, I don't want to say always, because nothing is always in trading, but more often than not. So if I got one right here, say I got in a bearish event, SI event, I can hold it to down here. And remember, these are the SPX prices, they're not the futures, but you can just figure out the futures. Right, so it's about let's see the difference here. So 67.25 in the, well, let's see what these levels are first. 67.20, right? So 60, that's this level, which is 67.72 in the futures. So say I got a bearish event right about now. It's like between 10 and 10:30. It could be 11, but say I got a bearish event. Well, I would put it on and I would hold it all the way down to those GEX levels. And you would be amazed. It's like he does a pin too. Like, guys in my trade room trade the pin. I'm not privy to it yet as far as what I'm doing with it, because I'm not an options trader. I need to get better at it, because it's a lot of days it's free money. These guys have been doing it. It's one of the channels in my trade room. Again, I'm not an expert at it at all. I don't even really understand it. I mean, I understand what they're doing, but as far as the options, right there, end of day pin strategy. So there was a king in here. This guy, he had like a job change or something, so he's not in here right now, but he would point him out every day, and then Dune Runner, what do you know, the teacher's pet's doing it, right? So that's a viable trade as well for the end of the day. Uh-oh, what was that? I just got filled on that A plus reversion. Hopefully it's A plus. Let's see. And crude stops in. So I'm just playing. This is the trade. Now I'm playing for a move back to the event, and I'm out, right? So the A plus, we already know, pretend that's not even there. This has such a tendency to tag the ATR, or I have it in front of the ATR because that's what they do, right here, filled to the tick, shocker. And it comes back to the event. Well, it's even better when you have a prior event, because these traders that are caught in here want out. They help propel it back to the event too. That's why it's called A plus reversion. All right, so my stop's in for that. Here's my exit. Actually, I'll do an OCO so I don't forget to cancel the damn order. Go like this. Like this. My stop's down here. That's working. And then remember, I'm still long Izzy in my stop. I'm going to stop out. Actually, I don't think I have that in. 62.11. No, I have that in. Good boy. I can't believe I remembered to do that. All right, you got questions, throw them in Bookmap. I need to take a breather here. I've been talking nonstop for an hour. Good morning from Lakeland. Good morning, Kevin Hawthorne. I know Hawthorne Racetrack in Chicago. Dump. Curious is in my trade room, so pay attention to what he's saying. He does very well too. Oh, the other thing, Bookmap has this competition. So speaking of participating, this is just going to make you a better trader, right? Go over here, right here. Want to earn 3 months of Global Plus for free? Share your winning setups on social media, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, with the hashtag #FreeBlueJacket for your chance to win over $600. So guys, you get a chance to get something for free, and doing stuff that you should be doing anyway. Get your setup, whether it's mine or your own or whatever, obviously on Bookmap. SI indicator or any other strategy you're trading through Bookmap and post it. That makes you better anyway, and then you get free stuff. So do that. There you go. A plus reversion was A plus. So this is the trade, guys. It's all day, every day, in all these markets. This is the, you know, they come back to these zones with ridiculous regularity. So that one worked. I'm actually surprised I got filled to the tick. Usually it stops right there and then does it, and then I'm sitting there bitching, but I got filled to the exact tick, filled to the exact tick. It's nuts. It's nuts. Craziness how accurate these prices are. Anyway, I'm in and out. That's the trade. I'm not, you know, if this keeps going, I'm already long from this, but this trade is not for one of these. It's get out. There are traders, especially, you know, some of them in my trade rooms like, well, I got out of some and then I'm going to hold some. It's like, you do whatever you want. It's your money, but that's not the strategy. The strategy is it touches the zone and you're out of the trade. On to the next one, right? So that one worked. Again, this one worked too. I should have kept an eye closer on gold, but you know, I lost on that one. We talked about the heavy relative volume, and then I said, okay, it's still coming in. I shouldn't be in this one, and then of course it goes back to this one was an absolute whopper. I just want to see here for my own mental well-being. If it was still heavy relative volume here, then I didn't miss the trade. But if it wasn't, I missed the trade. So we're gonna look right now, so I could bitch about something else. 7:34 my time. Yeah, it was still coming in. So I don't feel so bad. So it's just my rules, right? If you want to take them in a heavy relative line, be my guest. I'm just telling you, they work a lot less often when you have big money unloading in here. But it's just to see the visual, that's what it does. More than it doesn't, and that's what trading is, trading probabilities. All right, I am still long this Izzy trade here. I'm going to watch these two GEX levels here. It's ripping, finally. That's not really ripping, but moving in my favor. If it struggles up here, I'm getting, because I have 14 on, remember, off of this guy. Actually, I think I could put on a bark and lick here, too. I missed that, forgot about that. I could have put the pick on, too. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Let's see. Now, Algo guy is not bullish, so I didn't miss anything there. This never confirmed as a bearish event, right? It never tagged the ATR. That maybe it did. Look at these prices. I can't get over these prices. They're my prices. It's my zone drawing tool. You know, I mean, it's not my ATR. You see what I'm saying? But it is unbelievable. I just can't say it enough. He never said this validated. He did have a long off of this guy too. So it'll tell you when it basically does the ATR retest. Bookmap Bob will let you know. ATR for this one, right? Retest. Confirm. All right, so anyway, I'm watching that to get out of some of these. I didn't put on the pick. I got the Izzy on. I'm fine with that. Crude's been kind of a pain in the ass lately to trade. It's just been whipsawing left and right. We did talk the other day. So the other thing I do is I come up with a thesis based on structure stuff. Right? We talked about this, the bar chart, the balance areas. And we talked the other day. So when I get, these are just guesses. This is a thesis based on, you know, my experience of watching these markets, what they do with balance areas. But when the event matches my guess, my thesis, then I trade bigger, right? It's called an A plus setup, not an A plus reversion, but an A plus setup. When I was trading with SMB, when I got back in the something in gold, it's kind of the middle number. We'll look at it in a second. They literally ground their traders if their traders have A plus setups and they don't put on bigger size, right? So it's like when things align, you got to go for the throat. You got to be willing to stop for the day, though. Say you're like, I'm risking 2% on a trade, and you're like, oh, this was this day. We talked about this in my trade room. Like it broke down. It got through this high volume node of this balance area. We have a trade for that. It's called breaking bad. Current balance breakdown through the prior high volume node of a balance, and then this is a failed balance break out of that guy. These usually do this. When it doesn't do something it should do, watch out the other way. Not only did it not break down, it put on a whopping buying tail. And I said, watch out. And then, of course, the rest of the day it did nothing. And then at the end of the day, it rallied a little bit, and then it did that. The point is, you know, if I get a bullish event after that, knowing what should have happened didn't, I can trade bigger size. And I did. It just didn't go anywhere that day. What was I getting at? I can't remember. to show you there. But anyway, that's what I was showing you for this day, right? So this did exactly, it should have broke down, didn't, put in the buying tail. I said, watch out above, and then it's done that. I mean, now it's building another balance, and then you can judge going forward what you're going to do off of this dude, right? So if it breaks out, we have a trade for that called breaking away. You need heavy relative volume to take that 200% or more. Or say it does this, like this, the exact trade that I took in Russell, but I put it on the wrong market. That was this today. I already showed this, but this is the best trade in trading. Tried to break out, couldn't go, gets to the high volume node, take the short. So we caught that. Again, I put it on the wrong market. I just got lucky. Dow did the same thing. I don't know what I mean, it's easy to do because I'm looking at MYM versus M2K. I just saw the M and I threw it on, but again, I got lucky. All right, so long crude, I will watch. I'm going to put you guys, when you trade markets like crude, natural gas, like this is, you got to be willing to ride the bucking bronco, right? They're the most algorithm markets out there. You can see all this liquidity in here and the games they're playing. It's actually not even that heavy today, game-wise, but you just got to be okay. And for any trade, you got to be okay with the position trade. So this is why I offer different type of strategies for traders. A lot of traders can't sit through this, right? I've been long this for an hour, right? And it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It wears on you if you're just staring at the thing. If you're a human being, it wears on you, right? So if you're going to trade products like natural gas, gold, crude, you just got to know you're most of the time, even if your trade works, you're going to sit through this for a lot of times hours. So anyway, I want to put on, that came close to there. It just was so fast. So if it comes up here, I'm going to put an alert. My luck lately, that'll be it. I missed the exit, and now it's going to come all the way back at me. But whatever, trail my stop, I'm fine. It is what it is. So these are some of the areas that I'll look to get out. We did the exact same thing in NASDAQ earlier, right? As it tagged those areas. Let's see what else we got here. There's nothing really else here for me to get out of the trade. Get out of portions of the trade. You do have VWAP, and it just kind of spiked through there. I don't get out of VWAP by itself. Some traders do. It's fine if you do. I don't. The next area up is red lug and or top of this market profile composite. That's 6320 or 6280. So other than that, I'll piece out at these GEX levels if it can't get through them. If not, I'm holding it to up here. I'll put another alert up here. You got GEX 2, you got the lug right there, Ludwig level. Put that in there. And then this 6320 is where that market profile composite high is. So I'll watch that if this thing starts motoring up. In the meantime, I got to get whipsawed for 2 hours. All right, what do I got going on here? What was I doing here? Why is this in here? I have no idea why that order's in there. This is the A plus reversion, right? It's the same trade we just took in crude. I don't know why that order was right there. I'm lucky I didn't get filled on that. I don't have no idea what I did there. All right, so this is the A plus reversion, right? The 1 ATR, if it comes down here, here's your 1 ATR entry. I trade it back to the zone, and I'm out. Stops here. If this tags an ATR this way, I could take reversions this way too. There's no A plus. You can take them aggressively. It doesn't mean it won't work, right? Which this is about to do, by the way. But my point is, if it tags the ATR going this way, I will not take this reversion anymore, right? We just took a trade earlier on this. If it's tagging the ATR and can't go, it's telling you something. You don't want to be taking longs when it comes back, right? This is the exact same thing we took the short on earlier when this thing NASDAQ tagged the ATR multiple times. ATR, ATR, and we jumped in that short, right? Well, I don't want to be taking this reversion. If it shows it can push an ATR out and can't go, very likely it's going to do this again. I don't take those reversions, right? So we'll see. It hasn't tagged it yet, so this is still alive. As far as reversion short, what I can do here is a back in black potentially. So you can take these aggressively as the market moves into them, right? I'm almost never take them aggressively unless it's A plus. I'll wait for it to tag, show me it's going to hold a certain area, and as it comes back, I put the corresponding ATRs back to the zone. That's why it's called back in black, right? So I would take those if it gets up here. Let's put an alert here so I don't miss that. All right, in the meantime, this is working. And now, there's other trades I can take off of this event, potentially. Let's see where we're at. So this is a buy stop run. This is an Izzy short. So it moved. So these Izzy zones are meant to be fade trades, right? Market moves into them, you take the trade. Well, this moved down, bounced off of this Izzy. Now it's back in here. So if this were to fail, I could take an Izzy short. Granted, we're at a terrible time of day, and I vowed again yesterday, I've said it about 4,000 times, that I'm not going to take trades between 10, initiate trades between, you could say 10 and 12, 10:15 to 12:30 Central. I have lost millions and millions of dollars in my career trading. Don't do it. Don't do it. You can take an exception, make an exception if the relative volume is 150% or more. That means there's some big money playing in here, but this is when all the games start. We just showed you the hero games. Again, when the big money in New York, they start to go to lunch, and then Chicago, and then it's just these algos just start whipsawing you to death. Rarely do you get bigger moves at this time of day. There is something to be said at trading reversions at this time of day, but those don't seem to work either. I just don't know what it is at the time of day. It's just not a reliable time of day. And you can see here, this relative volume is, it's normal, but it's not anything exceptional. You're just asking for trouble, especially position trades. The market will just whipsaw you to death. You're just better off. I used to literally, because I lost so many millions of dollars at the time too, back in my, my height, I used to have to physically remove myself from the office so I wouldn't trade. And I'm going to start doing the same thing. I'm going to start working out this time of day. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it for your P&L. It's not worth it for you mentally, because you get in trades and then you sit there for 2 hours watching this. And by the time, if it does pick up in the afternoon, which is not lately, but when it does, then you're just mentally drained from watching nothing and just watching the games, right? And then the other newest game at this time of day is this game, right? It's the 0 date to expiration hero, let's rip it in people's faces every single day. So usually, whatever way this is going, again, usually nothing is certain every day, or every trade or anything else in trading, right? So usually whatever way this is going, moving, this is the options flow, this is spot gamma. Again, guys, there's discounts to all this stuff that I'm talking about. So everything I use in my trading is in this flip book that I posted in the YouTube and Discord, right? So here's spot gamma. Use Scott, you get 50% off the first month for that, right? So it is, you have, I don't care, just like the SI stuff, I don't care if you're a profitable trader. You guys just don't have all the information. If you're not watching this, knowing the gamma levels, knowing the stop iceberg events, I don't know how you're profitable, but if you are, you'd be 100 times more profitable, in my opinion, with having this stuff, because this is what runs markets. This is it. This and the stop iceberg events. This is what runs the show. Anyway, usually whatever way this is going, right around this time, it'll turn around and go the exact opposite way, and it'll move notionally. So they're already kind of starting it, right? So remember, a billion notional is a lot. So just be aware that they start playing this game. So that's another reason why you don't usually want to try. Look at this thing. It is doing exactly what the hero is doing. So I have this on all trades. You can turn on next expiration. This is the 0 date expiration. The other thing you can look for too, reference spot gamma talks about it. I mean, this is his gig, his thing, right? But he says when this is on top of each other, which it's not. He said when it's on top of each other, then the 0 date to expiration is running everything. When you get a big gap, then the bigger, longer term options stuff is running everything, and that's where you get more sustained moves too, right? Because it's the longer term options at play. This stuff is just the games with guys, because it's expiring today. It's just like a highly leveraged bet. Is all it is. It's a big gamble, but they gamble every day and they win every day because they run the show. So I just combine the two. What you want to watch for is this moving notionally billion. Usually it does the opposite right now. So that's why I have the seek and destroy trade too, right? So it's usually it'll be this, and then if you get an event, the problem is, remember I said don't trade between 10:30 and 12:30? Well, right around now is where you get the event, and then you can hold it to those gamma levels that we talked about. So if you're going to trade between those times, this is the trade I would look for. Other than that, it's just usually not worth your mental energy. It's really not. All right, so you see this is still, right, Cole's just being a clown right now. I'll go there. So this is 99% tile right there. This has come off a little bit, still 99. So if I were to get an event here, if you demand the trading at this time of day, say I get a bearish event, especially with the hero going this way, get an event, jump on it. If it turns short, this is your target, and you'll watch this game as well. That will help your trade. All right, gold is just like in the middle of nowhere, just buy stops and sell stops. So circus act right now. Let's see where we're at. I'm not putting on trades right now. I'm done. Like, I'm not putting on position trades, at least. I'll put on, there's something to be said of just getting out of your positions too. I haven't got to that point because I can monitor, right? So if I leave, I can remote in on my phone, a Google remote, and I can see this exact screen and get out. Plus, they have the Telegram feature on here too, where you can get alerts to your phone. It's on the on chart, I think, right here. Hold on. Yeah, I got to get this set. I had it set up so every event you can set it up, and then any event that fires off, it goes to your phone. It gets, you're going to get a lot of alerts, but if you're, because remember I trail my stops in the most recent event, right? So say I'm long crude here and I gotta go. Well, say it's ripping up and I get an event and I'm like, oh, I got to trail my stop. It'll send the Telegram notification to my phone and I can hop on my computer and move my stop, to the new event. So that's how you can use that Telegram feature. It's not hard to set up, but it's I don't know how to do it. So I usually have you on. He's the guy that developed the zone drawing tool. He usually does it for me. So I don't have it on here right now. I got to get it back on here. All right. So in the middle of nowhere here in gold, again, I'm not putting on any position trades. This did immediately reverse. Let's see if there's anything else up here. I doubt it. Well, I just want to see the games going on here.
Prior NQ long retested.
There you go. It's doing exactly.
BTC long retested.
There's Bitcoin, by the way. You guys like trading Bitcoin. I'm still going to put on this reversion. I don't know how I didn't get filled to that on that trade. First of all, I need to move it down, but I still should have been filled. Look at this nonsense. This guys, this is the stuff that how does that not? I understand this is the Nasdaq, and I have these set to micros, but I mean, come on, it's just so annoying. It's just all day, every day. Look at that. Now it's gonna come right back to the zone. Guys, this is what sets me off. You're watching it in real time. Should have been filled, no fill. Could just take one more blip down here to fill me. And I'll tell you right now, I have been losing on these A+, and it's been especially A+ reversions at this time of day too. So, because again, that's when they start playing the hero game. So if this hero keeps going, this thing's going to rip through all this stuff. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to take this, but I'm probably not. It's probably going to come back to the zone, and then I'm not going to take it anyway because I should have been filled, and it already completed the trade. You see what I'm saying? So I'll leave this in here, but I can't. I probably lost on 10 of these in the last 3 weeks at this time of day. Right now.
TP short retested.
Do you see how annoying this is? It's like it just won't come down there. I should have been filled, didn't get filled, and then it just dances. It dances. It dances. Granted, traders in my trade room, and the more people that are doing this, it's going to affect this trade because there's more and more size there, and these algos love to run away from size. That's why traders or firms have to use icebergs because they can't put orders in the order book because these, I was going to use a very bad word there, these algos see the size and they run it away trying to make them chase their order, chase their price. Look at this. This is what drives me crazy. I'm too old. So this is all I used to do, right? Just watch market action, watch the order book. I'm just too old to watch this. It just drives me crazy now. So I'm going to just take that off so I don't break something. All right, let's see. You guys have any questions? GC did not look like it was coming back up. It was really heavy roll. Yeah, I saw that. Thanks, curious. I didn't take the trade. Made me feel better. Marge Renui. So at 1 to 5 gamma lows is strongest levels, and we use 1 to 5 as support and resistance, correct? I mean, I'm not the right guy to talk about the gamma levels, but yeah, I mean, in the basic sense, that the lower the gamma level, the stronger it is, right? So the GEX 1 through 5 are the strongest. You get up to GEX 6, 7, 8. Doesn't mean they don't work, they're just not as strong. The ones that are very powerful too are like you get these HVLs, especially 0 date to expiration. Like that's a blind spot. All right, I filled on that. So this, I'm telling you, I have lost on so many of these at this time of day. So I'm probably going to be bitching here in a second. Here's my stop. Now I just got to hope that the hero game doesn't go against me right now, which I hate. I mean, I know it runs the show anyway, but it really runs the show right now. Here you go. This has just moved. This moved $1.5 billion. This is exactly what just dragged this market down. It's unbelievable what they can do. Anything they want to do here, they do. They want to rip it back up. It's going back up.
TP short entered.
Right there. Exactly. Great. Again, it's great to know, oh, that's why the market moved down. Or if you're long, oh, that's why I lost. I want to see what is forewarning this. There's got to be a way to put it in the damn filter, and they can't give me an answer on it yet. Let me put my order in here. This does happen to pop back up here. I just have very low hopes at this time of day. I can't tell you how much money I've lost at this time of day. All right, we only got a couple minutes left in the webinar. Anyway, yeah, 1 through 5, and then these other ones like these are really strong. And when you have a bunch together, though, that's even more powerful, right? So you can say I'm only taking sexy gexies when I have multiple on top of each other, or at least 2 or more, like that one, right? Or sometimes you get like 3 or 4 of them. Then that area really isn't like holds. Like this one was 2, it held. There was no event down here, but you can see put support in a blind spot, held exactly, and you had spot gamma levels down here too. Right? Usually they're obviously they're correlated, but they have different ones. They're not always in the same areas. Like this would be an incredible area if this does motor down here today. Watch that. There's 3 of them here and a spot gamma level. You can bet your butt that that's going to bounce there, at least initially. All right, just waiting for the stop out here. So I want to show you real time why not to trade at this time of day. Anthony Amp, what do you think about trading between 1:30 and 4 New York time? 12. Yeah, I mean that's the afternoon session. Lately, it's been horrendous. I cancel more webinars than we have at that time of day, just because there's nothing going on. I mean, I'm here, but it's like most traders aren't even trading, especially my trade room. It's just not worth the. There's just nothing going on, right? It's just. But yeah, that's the afternoon session. In the old days, it used to be hopping. Lately, it is not. Lately, meaning the last year or two. Mark, excuse my ignorance. Who is they? Who is they what? When did I? The manipulators? 0 date to expiration manipulators?
TC short valid.
They is usually the bigger money. I refer to them as they, and they are there, trust me. But now when I say they lately, it's these guys, right, playing their game. So this, if you're ignorant to this and don't feel bad, I'm about to get stopped out. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what sets me off. I could have got out of a couple up here. I missed the exit. It was really close to these GEX levels. I didn't get out, and it comes all the way back, and now I'm going to get stopped out on the trade. So this is, and hey, look what time it is. Look what time this started, right around there. So this is what I was saying. You may want to just liquidate your positions after 10 o'clock and just say, okay, I'll be back, because it's just not worth the mental pain you go through. And here you are. These hours just start running the damn show. It's brutal. So it's my own fault. I could have been out. It wasn't quite at these levels, but the way, especially coming into this time of day, I would have been out of some if I was on this screen, and I wasn't. So I deserve whatever happens here. Again, part of that trading composure book is taking accountability. I have a bad tendency. Again, it stems from, I blame the market for a lot of things. A lot of traders do. But back in the day, it was really me against the market, this other guy, right? So that's where that PTSD comes from. But I am very bad at feeling like the market's against me, because it used to be for real with that dude I was trading against. But I have a bad habit. Anyway, one of the things in this book is taking accountability. I take accountability that I didn't have a damn alert up here to know to get out of some of these longs that I had on. We did catch this reversion trade, but that's no consolation. And remember, I didn't. This is a good example why I don't stop out when I can avoid stopping out in prior events. So that's where the stop was, right? Hey, look at that. It was to the tick too. Surprise, surprise. I moved it below here. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get stopped out, but at least I avoided the first one, right? So this is why I moved my stop out of the prior event. It should have been there, and I would have been filled to the tick, and then you guys were really hearing me bitching. All right, so anyway, keep an eye. This is the game, guys. This thing just moved $2.5 billion, and I'm gonna lose on this reversion trade again at this time of day, again because of the manipulation. So that's what I get. two different trades that I should not even have on, and I'm gonna get smoked on them. So, great lesson for you guys. Just go work out at this time of day. Granted, I could get out of this right now. I'm just too stubborn, but I'm telling you, I have lost on 10 of these in the last 3 weeks at this, and they're A+s with GEX levels. This thing should be doing that. It does it 90% of the time, unless you're in this time of day, and then for some reason it just rips right through it. So use my pain here to learn. Don't trade between 10:30 and 12:30, 10:15 and 12:30. All right, that's it. Took some winners. You guys are learning some lessons though, as far as like getting out in important areas. We got out down here. Don't trade between this time if you can avoid it. It's just not worth it mentally. I do this every day for my trade room. Come in there. If you're not going to participate, don't come in there. And then everything, as in this flip book I posted that I use in my trading. Again, courses. So you can learn the stuff from my trade room on the live webinars. It's going to take you a long time because there's a lot of stuff. You get this, you fast track yourself. SI trading strategies. There's the ATR reversion course. Here's the zone drawing tool. This site's not up and running right now, but I give this. This is you get this spreadsheet as part of my trade room. That's just the zone drawing tool. You got to plug in the values yourself. It's a pain in the ass. Here's the inflection zones. Here's the trade room access. Just click on these things, and here's the discounts. Apex, we didn't talk about that. Pulcini 50 for any sale they got going. A great way to practice your trading, and if you do well, you get paid anyway. Mentor Q, yearly and monthly. Those are the GEX levels on the chart. Spot Gamma, we talked about all these. Just click on these and you get all the discounts. Here's Tick Strike. We actually didn't even have that up today, but and then we have it. Speaking of my trade room, a guy from my trade room, he's a brainiac. He did his thesis at Oxford. Anyway, he's coming up with the trading journal that's AI, that's real time. It's incredible, and if you're in my trade room, you get the thing for free. It's going to be nuts. I think we're going to do beta testing starting next week for trade room members too. Ludwig levels, these are insanely powerful too. We talked about those. Go to our website and do the 3-day trial. There's my cartoon face. I feel like a cartoon when I put on Dow today instead of Russell. It worked, but I got lucky. And then here's the YouTube channel for prior webinars, and here's contact. Everything else here's reviews. All right, that's it. This is going to lose, and I deserve it. Shouldn't be trading this time of day. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining.